Hi, I'm Trixie, and I'm here to talk about writing and writing retreats. I'm on my first writing retreat right now. Uh, my cousin has a trailer in northern Michigan, and I'm able to use it. She wanted me to be able to use it, and she was so excited that I was using it as a writing retreat. She said it was the first time that she ever let anybody do it that way, and she was just so excited about it. And I'm hoping to be able to do this again next year. Her plan is to close the trailer for the winter season this coming week. Right now it is Sunday. I've been here since Friday, and I will be leaving on Tuesday. She'll be coming up and closing out the trailer for the season after I leave. And so I just got here under the wire. Wasn't my plan to do that, but it was something that had to be done. The reason I'm here in the first place is because the story that I'm writing ended up being corrupted on my thumb drive. And although my husband did try to fix the situation, it ended up disappearing off my thumb drive. Luckily, I had most of the story on my computer. But it was not all my revisions. Like, you put all your revisions and everything onto your thumb drive. I didn't have all those revisions. And so I asked him, would it be okay? Would he think it would be feasible for me to come and use this trailer to get back my revisions, to get back where I was in the story, and then to keep going. And he thought that was a good idea. And so I came up here on Friday. Took me an hour and a half to get here. Oh, and the driveway. This is a private area on a lake. And a lot of people have properties on this lake here. Excuse me. And some of these properties are up on a hill. This hill that I had to come up to get to the trailer. I mean, when she brought me here last month, she goes clear down by the lake and then puts her car in overdrive, guns it, and goes up the road, turns immediately into her driveway, and just guns it up the hill to get up to where her trailer is. I called her hell on wheels when we did that. It scared the life right out of me. But my concern was I don't have an all-wheel drive. I have a front-wheel drive car. She has an RV. Well, more like a SUV, sorry. And so I was more concerned getting here that I was not going to be able to get that momentum to get up the hill. She does have a little parking space down by the road, but that means climbing the hill with all my gear and all the food that I brought. That was not going to work for me. So my husband had told me, if you can't get up the hill front ways, turn the car around and come up backwards. That way the front wheel drive is pushing you up the hill instead of pulling you. And I thought, if it doesn't work, that's what I'm going to do. At least I had an alternative, right? I didn't end up needing it. When I got right near her driveway, I started to gun it and just went up the driveway, spitting gravel, but I did it. And I got up here and I haven't moved the car since. I have started it every day to make sure it's going to start so I can get myself back home, but I have not driven it down that driveway and trying to do it again. You know, it's okay for some people, I guess. I'm just not that much of a risk taker. So my thoughts in this video were to explain kind of my setup and what I'm doing here, to let you know that this is going to be an ongoing channel if you would like to subscribe. Just knowing that we're in this together and not doing it alone. It's easier for us to know that there's others in our corner, right? Yep. That's how I feel too. And so, okay. So I wanted to explain that these first nights here, that first night, I just didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it all the way until the next day, because there was I am not used to being on my own at night. I usually have my husband with me. If there's any extra noises in the house, it doesn't bother me. At my own house, I don't know why. It just doesn't. But when you're in a new location alone and you hear all these night noises, your mind wanders and you start thinking all these creepy thoughts and all these things. And I had this talk with my husband before I left because I was a little concerned about it. That first night I was not happy with myself because every little noise was waking me up and I was just like not getting enough sleep. Last night I thought, well, I'm just going to leave the light on. That way anything scurrying, would not bother the room I was sleeping in. And so it seemed to work. Either I was overtired from not getting enough sleep the night before, or I was just confident that the light was going to work. I ended up getting more sleep and more restful sleep. And, once or twice I might have woken up with a little bit of a sound, but I was able to get right back to sleep. I'm thinking tonight's going to be even better, and, the last night will be even better than that. And so by the end of this trip, I should be able to be an expert at staying the night by myself. And then I'm going home to my husband. So, well, that's how it works, right? Anyway, I'm just looking at my notes real quick. What I've accomplished so far is I've gotten my book back into a manuscript style. I had my chapters all in their own individual files just so I wouldn't lose each one of them on my computer. But and I'm just writing this in Microsoft Word, not doing anything special, no Scrivener, nothing like that. Just writing it in regular Microsoft Word. And so I've gotten it back into a manuscript style. I have got most of the book, and I'm so grateful for that. I was not going to be able to reproduce what I had off memory and and still make it the story that it was. This last chapter that I had written, only half of it turned up, and so I am trying to think about what the how the script had gone. But if it changes a little bit, I'm not concerned about it. It's not the whole story. It's just one chapter and only half the chapter at that. So I'm not too worried about that. What I hope to accomplish before I leave is that I have it all read now. I have made some revisions. I have edited somewhat, and I have gotten down to this last chapter where I am attempting to get the words down on paper to finish this chapter out. What I hope to accomplish before I leave is that I can continue on. I can write new chapters. I can get the words in, fill in gaps, do what I need to do. I'm a pantser, so I just fly by the seat of my pants. I let the story write itself, let the characters come out the way they want to. I have lots of notes I can look at to help myself. I'm going to show you those in just a minute, but it's just a puzzle to me, putting the pieces where they need to go and filling in those gaps and making the story as real and as authentic as it can be for a novel. And I'm putting a lot of myself into this, cheaper than therapy. So I brought a pouch with some whiteout, some paper clips, and a couple of pens and some filing tabs. You'll see why. I have lots of pens with me. I don't have to worry about if one's going to run out or the other one's not going to work because I brought lots of them. I have a long calendar that I keep tabs on what I do every day. That way I can write down, what I did to remember when I did it or whatever. It's come in handy whenever I have to go back and look and see, what I did there. And like when I was making revisions, it was like, let me look back in my calendar and see what I did so that I can, revise to my specifications. On my calendar, I have a carabiner, and it has my thumb drive hooked right to it. I'm not going to lose it. It's right there. I don't have to worry about losing it. And I also have another pen in here. So the pen goes right into the spiral, and I'm not going to lose it. Notes. All my stories. And I have those tabs for each one of those areas because I was writing notes all in one notebook at one point, but I have various stories going on. I have at least 5 stories that I've got. I would like to make a series on all these 5 stories, and I've got all these ideas for them. But I was putting them all into one notebook. And when I did that, I thought that was a good idea at the time, but trying to find an individual entry for said story that I'm looking for was not an easy task. And so I thought, I'm going to get myself some notebooks that have different sections in them, And I'm going to get some tabs, and I'm going to put all my notes for each one of the stories into its own section. And now it's much easier to find those sections or those selections that I would like to write on later. You know what I mean? It's like you have all these thoughts and notes that you want to write, and you have them all in your notebook. I'm a pen and paper girl, so that just makes it so much easier for me when I know that it's all written down and it's not going to disappear off my computer or anything. I've got my notes written. Just another notebook with another story in it. I have another notebook with tips and tricks, quotes, and scriptures in it, because I use all of those. I use quotes and I use scripture in each one of my chapters of my books. Tips and tricks are always something that you're going to need when you're writing, right? You need those hacks. You need those things to remember how to do things and how to do them right. And so I like to write them down and look them over and keep them in my trusty notebook. And the most fun thing that I've got, put my laptop down, excuse me, is my series Bible. Do you hear the jangles? I love putting things on the zipper pull. And I have all kinds of things here, old keychain things. And one says Mom. I've got 3 kids, so there's 3 kids on here. One says Love Much. And I have a little book here that, turn it around the right way, opens up like a little locket. I have nothing in it right now, but it's fun to have on my pull, and I just found that at Hobby Lobby. The rest of these were just given to me over time, and I just thought I'm just going to put them on my zipper pull and make it fun for me, right? What I have in here is all kinds of well, I shouldn't say all kinds. It's got my character profiles in it. My drawing of the town that one of my characters goes to. The streets and all the businesses and all that stuff is in here, because that way I'm staying consistent. If somebody turns left or right out, to go to a business or whatever, throughout the series, we're going to find out if the directions I'm giving for said place are consistent throughout the series. I have pictures of my characters, which I'm not going to show you. I just found those on Pinterest, and I thought, well, she looks like this character, so I'm going to print that out. And then what I've been doing is I found, apparently on Pinterest, trying to reach it here, a character chart, and I added some extra lines on it, but it has all kinds of questions for you to answer about your character, to make them more realistic, to flesh them out, and to give you an idea of how these characters would react, or what they would do in a situation because they feel this way or they don't feel that way. You know, some of the questions are their full name. If they've got a nickname, why do they have that nickname or whatever? Their social class, their appearance, all the questions on their appearance, their favorites, like their favorite color, music, their least favorite music or whatever, food, literature, expressions, their background, where they come from, their family history, their attitude towards things, their personalities, their traits. I had written more on mine, like when they were born, when they died, what kind of clothing do they like to wear, what's their story, and what's their future. And if they smoke or not. You know, they smoke, and what do they smoke? Some characters, you know, you have those kind of characters. So, but maybe when I edit this video, or when I publish it, I will make sure that you can have this too. There is a line down here at the bottom that I can just reproduce, and maybe you can find this as well. Maybe there's better ones for you out there. Maybe you've already found yours, but this one works for me. It fits right into my page protector. It does exactly what I need it to do. I have the picture of my character, and then behind it I have the profile, and it just makes it so much easier for me when I know what each of these characters' personalities are. And as I go through the series, it's going to make it easier for me to know, oh, their favorite color is this, and I can make sure that it is consistent all the way through the series, and I don't have to worry about things like that. I have other like research and other things in here as well, and it just makes sure that I will bring the series through in a consistent way and not have to worry about all those pesky details that did I say this? And I won't have to go back through my books to find out what those details were, because I've got all that detail right here in my series Bible. Makes it so nice. And the fact that I could find a binder like this that zips up and holds all my character profiles is just, that's the best for me. I love it. It's what I love. Little side note. It reminds me of my grandma. You know, she would bring me to a little 5 and dime back in the day, and we would go right immediately to the stationery department, and we would travel from one end of it to the next, and just ooh and ah over the new things that were coming out, or you know, the paper styles and the pens and the paper, the pencils and all the things, you know. And sorry, my phone just is a little loud there. But yeah, it made so much sense to me later on, when I started to write, that yeah, that love of paper and pens and everything came from my grandma, who loved them as well. She was always writing notes and letters to others. She was always writing thoughts down and everything. And I think she should have been a writer too, but she never got that far. But she did love to write her letters and everything. And I think, you know, I I still have a couple of them, and I really appreciate that. Just to have something in your grandmother's own handwriting. I have something from both of my grandmothers in their own handwriting that mean a lot to me, because how many people write in their own hand anymore? You know, um, a lot of things are typed up on the computer or whatever, and we don't have enough people valuing their own writing style in their own hand. So I think that's important. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just leave it on a good note. But thank you for watching this video. If you like things like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll discover the world of writing together. So until next time, see ya.